right, y'all. We back in this bitch again. Jesus Christ. It got a little smuggy in here. Either way, though, we going with that crim tonight, man. We gonna hit that crim. Cause we about to we gotta go with that crim tonight. Yeah, that's what we going with, man. Welcome back, y'all, to another episode. Let's talk with JVJ Network, man. I hope all of y'all are doing all right. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Fucking on your way in though, do it for your boy, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share, turn the notifications on, all in the bag of chips. I heard there's a new hype button, man. Hype that thing up if you can. You know, we trying to get it around here. You know, we can do it with y'all help. So help a brother out. Man, I'm about to run through a couple quick ones real quick tonight, man. Like, cause I really have been out of the loop for the last couple of days, and I really want to catch up on some things. So ain't no time like the present, right? Ain't that what they say? Ain't no time like the present. So let's go on. We're going to get into it, man. Shout out to Couch Politics for pretty much two of the first two that y'all going to see tonight come from Couch Politics. So he can go and get his shout out after that. And then we got to cover something else from that boy Will. I fuck with that boy Will. That boy Will, I fuck with that boy. No Diddy. But we're gonna cover one of his videos too. But man, let's go ahead and get into this first one, man. Like I told y'all, man, I'm about to get into this politics shit a lot more. I'm gonna try to get a lot more in depth because a lot of stuff is going on right now. It's really disturbing me. And I don't want anybody to come around here and say I'm a liberal. I don't want nobody to come around here and say I'm conservative. I don't fuck with either one of them sides. Just want to say that ahead of time from the get-go. Right is right and wrong is wrong, good is good and evil is evil. Plain and simple. Leave it at that. I'll pick in between. I ain't picking no sides around here. You ain't finna put me in no box. But either way, though, man, let's go ahead and get into this first one, man. Shout out to Couch Politics. Let's see what we got, man.
Racist video was a racist trope that has been going on since the beginning, the inception of this country. It wasn't anything new to see black people as monkeys. That's Democrats have to adjust to the moment. You know, this idea of wanting this bipartisan, let's all get along, let's hold hands. It's over with, Abby, to be quite honest with you. If they just
nonsense by Obama, the woke left.
I ain't wearing no
glasses
tonight.
Single, meanest, angriest, exclusive, us, them, divisive movement in history.
If you ask me.
Group in history?
they should be meaner.
I feel
Democrats get meaner.
I think the thing with
The high is over with. I think you get low, and matter of fact, get a little bit lower, and that's what people are responding to. So Governor Newsom, who Donald Trump can't seem to stop talking about, yeah, he gives them to it real good. He makes y'all real upset. Makes y'all real upset. Tesla and Figaro here that loves giving it to you the same way.
To say we don't need to care about Epstein because the Dow hit 50,000. We don't need to care about people's health care because the Dow.
They did say that though. They ain't gonna lie. They did say that. Pam Bondi said that shit.
Guys, we got a real beauty for you today. We got the piece of scrap metal, the MAGA robot, the Stepford Wife, back on the panel, along with Kevin O'Dumbass. Let's get into this segment.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Obama is taking a swipe at President Trump and the rhetoric that's coming out of the current administration. In a new interview, the former president addressed the racist video posted to Trump's Truth Social account that depicts him and former first.
Now, just so y'all don't know, anybody that didn't keep up with it or know what is. There's a lot of people that don't keep up with politics. I'm gonna be honest with you. But the Trump administration put out some shit. I don't know what the fuck it was for, but they put out some shit and they had the Obamas, Michelle and Barack. They had their face on the body of some monkeys, apes, if you want to say that. And y'all already know the trope in America. A lot of people like to call black people monkeys. I really be trying to trip. I be tripping out on that when I hear that shit all the time. It just show me how dumb people are. It's like, oh, y'all monkeys. They talk like because you're brown skinned. I'm like, dude, the monkey's hair is brown. Shave the monkey and ask me what the monkey looks like after you get done shaving it. But they be the same people calling everybody else monkeys. I'm like, bro, you the one who got the Neanderthal gene, not us. But either way though. They put the face of the Obamas on monkeys, and they're about to have a conversation about it. Let's see what we got.
A sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost.
So Teslin, is he right that most Americans are not down with this stuff?
I can't tell. What he is right about is that it is a clown show, and it's been lost. And unfortunately, I don't think it's ever coming back. I think that whether it's especially Democrats, have to adjust to the moment. You know, this idea of wanting this bipartisan, let's all get along, let's hold hands. It's over with, Abby, to be quite honest with you. If they do not put people in, I say this all the time, if they do not fight fire with fire and match the same energy on the other side, they're going to continue to get the table ran on them. And that's just the bottom facts. Content creators drive elections now. Podcast hosts drive elections now. The idea that I can just sit back and always be on the defense opposed to the offense is over with. I think that era's over with, and I would like to see leaders adjust.
So here's what Piers Morgan says in response to this. Preposterously disingenuous nonsense by Obama, the woke left has been the single meanest, angriest, exclusive, us, them, divisive movement in history.
And Piers Morgan said this shit. And he always tries to play it like he's the middle ground. We're going to actually cover Piers Morgan a little bit later. And he always tries to flip-flop He never plants his flag anywhere. He'll flip-flop all the time, but you know exactly where he really wants to plant his flag at. To say that preposterously disingenuous nonsense by Obama, to say that we've lost respect and honor in the office when you have a president of the United States tweeting out a video of a former president, the only black president, on the body of a monkey with his face on it. That's preposterous, y'all. That's preposterous. You know, the woke left has been the single meanest, angriest, exclusive, us, them, divisive movement in history. Really? Really? Okay. Either way, though, let's keep going.
In history, he says.
Coming from Piers, someone who is, guys, sickly obsessed with trans people and going after them every chance he gets.
He don't like trans people either, though. I forgot about that.
I would like to
Really, the people that are like, love who you want to love, be who you want to be, read what you want to read. That's the most
They're not mean enough, if you ask me.
group in history.
They should be meaner.
I feel like
Democrats get meaner.
I think the thing with the Obama thing is that it's such a sky is blue moment. The fact that it was posted was so deeply and disgustingly racist. Everyone should be able to say that without caveat. The fact that Obama had to make a statement on it that wasn't just accepting Donald Trump's apology, to me is appalling. And I just feel like everyone who's justifying what he did should be, and used to be shunned by civilized society.
Okay, if I can ask both of you, I mean, I think Barack Obama took the high road there, right? Would you like to see him get lower, to your point earlier?
I would
you like to see him be meaner?
No. I think President Obama is who he is. He also talked about, which I know we'll discuss later on, how people have aged out. Their time is over.
Right
I think his era and the class era is over. I think you have other leaders, such as a Jasmine Crockett, for example, that is fighting fire with fire, that's giving it right back to Trump the same way he dishes it out. You have Governor Newsom, who is doing the same thing, whether you like his policy or not. We are now in an era where now people have to deal with it on a different level. So no, I think that the going high is over with. I think you get low, and matter of fact, get a little bit lower. And that's what people are responding to. So to keep sitting back saying, oh, I'm appalled and I just can't believe it. No, I don't. They put it on the table. It was a racist video. It was a racist trope that has been going on since the beginning of the inception of this country. It wasn't anything new to see black people as monkeys. That's been happening. What's happening now is on the forefront for everybody to see and discuss. So I think now you have to have a shift in leadership. You're going to continue to see the same thing.
So
Teslin, of course, is right. Guys, this country voted in Trump as president twice now. Look how disgusting that man is. And again, it's not to say we have to be like that, but she's right. The Dems have been a lot better at this in the past year or so about fighting back. This stuff with Republicans and their bigotry has always been there, but in a more of a dog whistle way, or at least much more so than now. Now you see these idiots have no effing shame. Only a couple Republicans pushed back on Trump depicting the Obamas in that way. To the racists out there, it looks like Trump is fighting for them, let's be real, or willing to shout them out like he did with his racism, like he always does. Whereas Dems, in my opinion, at least in the past, looked like we were caught on our back feet. We don't have to stoop to their level of stupidity and bigotry. But these people are incredibly thin-skinned, weak, low self-esteem type of people. In my belief, you couldn't be a bigot without those characteristics. So my belief is to find that low self-esteem trigger point and twist it over and over until they cry out for their mommy. I don't believe in being righteous or having a chess match with someone who doesn't want to reciprocate. They don't want to play a chess match with you. They want to box, clearly. So if you want to box, let's box. In fact, I'm putting cement in my gloves.
Former president.
All right, now before he go, I do want to say this because I give my black sisters a shout out because y'all see this lady that's on screen right now. Y'all see her, right? Black women always get a negative stereotype. There's always a negative connotation to when black women open up their mouth and they speak strong and proud about the things they're speaking on. I want my sisters, just saying, y'all, I want my sisters, y'all that got that mouth, because I know some of y'all got that mouth now. We ain't gonna sit here and play like some of y'all ain't got that mouth. I ain't got no problem if you got that mouth, as long as that mouth is being fucking focused on the right things it needs to be focused on. The way that she was sitting there talking to them folks, them white folks on that table, that's how I need y'all sisters to direct that energy. Stop directing that energy to your kids and to the dude that you with, even though you know he a fuck nigga or whatever the hell, all that shit. Yeah, stop directing that energy there. Direct that energy to some shit that really matter. Because this shit right here, like when people try to sit up and play in your face, I need y'all to call them out. I'll sit here right here with you and call them out. I ain't got no time. I ain't got no problem with none of that shit. I got all the time in the world to sit here and play games with them motherfuckers. Because they sit here and try to play in your face. What she said was 100% facts. This whole putting black people on the face of, like, on the bodies of monkeys, and everybody wants to sit here and talk about, oh no, it's not racist. That's been in this country since this country been since the inception of it. And she ain't let nobody sit around and play in her face about that. That was certified racist. All this other shit that they want to say, like we done called Trump out for being racist for saying this and saying that. Like, bruh, you can't hide this now. Y'all done had all these different fucking doors y'all could close and be like, nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. You can't close no door on this one. It's plain as day that was racist as fuck. And I actually saw white people on different shows like Fox News and Newsmax and all this really trying to defend it. Talking about that was just a long line of clips. And why the fuck did you put the black people on the monkeys? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. Like, it was racist from the hands, like from the start to the finish. It is what it is. Black women, I really want y'all to direct y'all energy for shit like this. Please direct y'all energy for shit like this. We could definitely use it in the community right now. We could definitely use it in America right now. Direct that energy for shit like this. When they playing in your fucking face. I love what she said. I don't like her personally, but I love what she said on this.
President George W. Bush. This is President's Day, by the way. So he has a piece out on Substack.
Real shit.
Our first
right,
president could have remained all-powerful, but chose not to twice. In doing so, he set a standard for all presidents to live up to. Washington modeled what it means to put the good of the nation over self-interest and selfish ambition. He embodied integrity and modeled why it's worth aspiring to. He carried himself with dignity and self-restraint, honoring the office without allowing it to become invested with near mythical powers. That's what back in the day we would have called a subtweet directed at one Donald Trump. And it's not, look, it's not a new observation about the founding father, but I just wonder, I mean, is he right that Trump is really kind of pushing back and defying the George Washington model for the presidency?
Well, I read the essay and I thought it was a wonderful essay celebrating George Washington, who's an incredible founding father. And then I saw the headlines about
and the slave owner. We ain't gonna never let none of that shit slide, because you know they like to praise these people that did fucked up shit. They did real fucked up shit. You know, George Floyd, he broke into a house and, you know, held a woman at gunpoint. This motherfucker had slaves, and y'all fucking gotta have a holiday after this motherfucker. But motherfuckers ain't had no sympathy for him when we saw how the way he was killed. Like, come on now, y'all put two and two together. Like, come on, man, this dude owned slaves, bro. Like, come on, we ain't playing with that. And I don't care about what the times were, because you know some people like to say it was a different time. Wrong was wrong then, just like it's wrong now.
Bush subtly jabs Trump. I didn't pick up on that at all from the essay. I think he's honoring a founding father on
I bet you didn't pick up on it, bitch.
Really, unless you really hate Trump, I don't think you would interpret it with that anti-Trump rhetoric.
Do you see the contrast? I mean, do you see the contrast?
You know, I kind of buy into the idea that the office itself is above all the rhetoric and all the. But George Washington didn't have to deal with social media. There was none. And so those words are very inspiring, but we're in different times now. And I think the important thing to do, at least from my perspective, is I watch all this, whatever you want to call it, and I ask myself, is there any policy in there? Because really what the American people want is some guidance on what is coming next that affects their lives. And I think it's important to respect the office. I always have, and I'm trying to be bipartisan when I say this. But there's a lot of things that we focus on that really have nothing to do with the average person's day. And I think they need more respect. I deal with them. I've got all these companies with people struggling to survive, and we hit them with crazy stuff. And it doesn't help put cereal in the bowl.
Well, I think that may be why people are wondering why Trump keeps wanting to name things after himself, why he's focused on building
That's what all
ballrooms.
real estate guys
Can I
do.
say this?
Yeah, but I mean, this is
That's not what all presidents do. And I think that's the point about the Washington thing, right?
Contrast.
It's the thing about George Washington.
Forget about social media. George Washington could have decided to model himself after a king.
Can I say
He
this?
didn't do it.
Because George Washington is long gone. Representative Garcia, shout out to him last week. I put that one post on my post. I only have about 200,000 followers. Over 15 million people looked at that post when Representative Garcia was giving it back to Pam Bondi the same way she was dishing it out. Things that still need to be handled, food on the table, all of those things. Democrats want to see a fighter. The quorum is over with. Clutching of the pearls.
Who would
going
that be?
high.
Anybody in mind?
Yeah, I just named them. Representative Garcia, Jasmine Crockett, who I know Republicans love talking about 24 hours a day. Governor Newsom, who Donald Trump can't seem to stop talking about.
Newsom?
Yeah, he gives them to a real good. He makes y'all real upset. He makes y'all real upset. Tesla and Figaro here that loves giving it to you the same way.
On a bipartisan basis, you want to put that guy in charge of America?
No,
He
I
can't
didn't say
even fix
that.
California.
No, I didn't say that. I said bring the same energy.
I
Two
like
different
that guy,
things.
but he can't manage his way out of a wet paper bag.
Well, he sure got Trump talking 24 hours a day.
I think the point.
Are you saying that Trump can manage himself out of a paper bag? Like, this guy is such a bootlegger. But this pushback that we see from Dems can't just be rhetoric. It needs to be actual policies. One of the big ones, at least in my mind, has to be some form of nationwide wealth tax. These statewide taxes, I just don't think it's going to work. They will do things to avoid that. And we need to invest in the IRS, a lot more agents, specifically tasked going after the wealthy, and make that a campaign promise. These idiots will try and say you're trying to increase taxes on everyone, but make it explicit. Every time you're speaking about it, it's about targeting the rich, and in fact, looking for ways to lower everyone else's tax rate. Worded as these billionaires and millionaires have been robbing the American people. They are the welfare queens. We need to break these loopholes that allow for this legal tax evasion we see from the wealthy and corporations. I mean, guys, just look at the disparity in wealth over the years in this country. Like,
it's a big gap right now.
A breaking point, and we are just about there. People are going to be out with pitchforks if this keeps up.
Imagine being able to build.
All right, we doing commercials tonight. Doing commercials tonight, y'all.
George W. Bush essay is that it's a president looking back and being inspired by his predecessors. And I think that what we're looking at here is this lack of humility that we have from our current president. And what George W. Bush was saying, it's important to have some set of humility when you are leading a country. That if you have nothing to learn, then you learn.
Right, it's kind of bad when you got George W. Bush coming out and condemning you because he was a piece of shit. He was a super dummy. But honestly, I think Trump done cracked the goddamn, he done broke the mold, y'all. He dumber than him. Like, he think he's so smart that he's that dumb. George Bush was just dumb. Like, everybody could tell he was just a dummy. He came from a family that was in politics, and he was destined to possibly be there if they pushed him to it, and he went for it. So he got there. But he was dumb. It's like a super dummy. And he's so dumb that I really believe he read the 48 Laws of Power. Because a lot of the things he does is literally what's in the 48 Laws of Power. He does it all the time, and I just be like, y'all need to read it. But matter of fact, we might actually do a show on the 48 Laws of Power just to help some of y'all folks out that don't know nothing about this. But either way, let's keep going, man. Like this motherfucker's super dummy, bro.
Nothing. Like, Washington did a lot of great things, but I think the most important thing he did was willingly give up power when he didn't have to. And I think the contrast is we currently have a president who will try to keep power when he is supposed to go.
Yeah, the theme of George W. Bush's essay, which was excellent, was humility. It was just that. And I think everyone could use a little bit of humility. There's one of two ways we're going to go. Everyone's going to try to out-Trump Trump.
Everyone.
In which case we'll end up one place, or everyone maybe will raise their game a little bit, as Barack Obama was urging in that clip, as George W. Bush was urging in his essay, show a little bit of humility. As we sit here on President's Day in the 250th year of this nation, let's reflect a little bit on the lessons of the past.
While we bash
always
all
with the
this
both
stuff,
sides garbage.
why
I
is
can't
it that
stand
the
that, dude.
world keeps investing in America?
I love how they always talk about the 250th. Like, you know, they always want to commemorate that, and I want to start the time at when they declare independence. This kind, like the shit that those people, the descendants of these people on the panel, their ancestors, they were here way before that. I'm talking about like 1700s type shit. But they want to mark it at whenever the hell shit in the 1600s. I think them bitches was here. I just don't like that 250 type shit. Because, you know, when they say that, it kind of diminishes when we say the 400 years of slavery. Because I'm not going into history with y'all tonight. I ain't finna do that. There's going to be a rabbit hole right there. Either way, let's keep going.
And the Dow keeps hitting new highs every day. Is that not an index of what
I
people
give a
think
fuck about the stock market,
economy
nigga.
and the future of America?
No.
Every single week, a new high.
I think we agree.
If we compare.
So what would you change? What do you want to do?
Well, I think if you only look at America as based on how the economy and the Dow is doing,
I
you're
do.
forgetting about
I
the
do,
American
because that's what
people.
lifts us
There's
all
about 10% of people who are
So you
involved in
want
the
a crap
Dow.
economy instead?
Why would that be the contrast?
You would rather
Now, see, I want y'all to see this. Kevin O'Leary is rich. He's rich as hell. I think he might be a billionaire. I'm not sure. I know he got a lot of millions, but he might be a billionaire. He's sitting over here talking about, well, I'm judging it off of how the stock market is. The stock, look, a lot of Americans don't even own stock. Like, I looked it up earlier today. 50% of the people that own stock, well, hang on. No. I'll say 36% of people that own stock make less than $50,000 a year. 36%. I think that was the number that I was looking at. So who owns the vast majority of the stocks? People who make over 50K and above. And a lot of that is concentrated right at the top 1%. They own almost like, I say about 45, almost 50% of the rest of the stock. So you got 30%, 36% for the people under 50K. You got that little bit in between and just cut it off at 50. Like, dude, these motherfuckers own the goddamn market. So they're the only ones that's really benefiting from that. Most people don't invest in the stock market anyways. I just started investing in the stock market like a couple years ago. Like, bruh, that's some long-term type game type shit that with people that got money that they can actually throw away to this and hope it turn into something. A lot of people ain't in that position in America. He don't understand it. Most people are paycheck to paycheck. Bro, they ain't got no fucking $500 to $1,000 to constantly keep investing in a goddamn mutual fund or a goddamn Roth IRA or some shit like that. They ain't got the money for that. They don't. But you sit over here talking about what the stock market says this. That ain't shit. The stock market is fake. Just so everybody know, the stock market is fake. It's fake as fuck. Some people think this shit is gonna go up in value, so they put their money into it. And guess what? It drives the value up. And then other people think that shit's not gonna do as good, so they take their money out of it. So then it drops. It's just people putting money in different fucking places, bruh. That's all it is. People putting money in different fucking places. And then sometimes you get your little goddamn payouts. You get your little payouts, you get your little dividends and stuff. And that's all I invest in, shit that pay dividends. And if y'all do get in the stocks, do dividends, bro. Don't do all that other shit. But I'm like, man, bro, it's really fake, man. It's man. What do we call it? Manufactured? Yeah, manufactured. Either way, though, it don't really fucking matter. We gonna keep going. Like he talking about the stock market, the economy and shit. The economy's fucked up. Stock market's doing good, but most Americans don't get the benefit from that shit. So I don't know why he even brings that up. But he's rich, so he don't know.
I want everyone to be involved in the economy.
Dow,
But to say we don't need to care about Epstein because the Dow hit 50,000. We don't need to care about people's health care because the Dow.
What does that have to do with the Dow?
But you keep talking about the stock market like it's the country. And that's not the same thing.
And it's not just the Dow. It's, inflation.
We've lost jobs, dummy.
American economy.
Real GDP is growing.
Dude, we done lost almost like 200,000 jobs since Trump done been in office, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Jobs. We losing jobs, nigga. The fuck?
At the highest rate
and
in
people are
years.
told that their cars and shot in the head, and we're building concentration camps. There's lots of things that you could say. It's not just how the economy is doing. And the problem that we got ourselves here in the first place is because why do you say that? Why do I want China? I want the economy to crash, and I want to be China.
No, let me take you over there.
Let me take you to West Virginia, where we're building them now. Like we're building 19 in America. You don't need to take me over there.
Prisons? Okay, well that is a segue. If I ever ask for
Guys, these people are such fools. To keep
I ain't trying to hear my boy right now. I ain't gonna hold you, man. It kind of irritates me to hear rich people try to speak on everyday citizen. Like y'all remember when Trump he held I forget what it was he was trying to do, but this motherfucker he held a press conference or some shit like that. I don't know what it was for, but this dumbass motherfucker literally came out his pocket and said when people go to to the store to buy bread, they don't want to have to show their ID, and it's like, nigga, who the fuck has to show ID to buy bread? And that just lets you know the disconnect between somebody that has a lot of bread, that's always had a silver spoon, in his case, a golden spoon, because he loves gold. He like gold. If any of y'all watch Austin Powers, y'all know about it. But for somebody that's always had a spoon in his mouth, like, dude, you can't relate with the average day citizen. You don't know what it's like out here in these streets with folks, bro. You don't know. But they speak on it as if they do. Nobody cares about the goddamn stock market when your ass can't goddamn buy no goddamn food for your kids, bro. Don't nobody get two fucks about that shit. Like, I'm being dead ass serious. Like, don't nobody get two fucks about none of that shit when your kids need some food in the house, bro. And they talk about it as if that's the thing, bro. That's the thing. Like, that's what we should be shooting for. And, like, everybody should be happy and okay because, the stock market's up. Bitch, you about to get foreclosed on. You about to get evicted. Your kids might not be able to goddamn have no shoes to go to school and shit. But you all fine with, the stock market's up, though. Stock market's up, y'all. The stock market is up. Bro, it's a real big disconnect. And the sad part, those people that have all that money, they're the ones who make the policy decisions when it comes to this country. That's why you've seen all the rich people behind Trump when he got inaugurated. Facebook got all them goddamn lawsuits dropped by the federal government. Google got them lawsuits dropped by the federal government. Fucking Elon Musk got control of the federal government for a little while. Like, look, they do. All them people standing right behind them. Spend a couple $1 million, you got it. It's like, bro, understand the game and learn how to play it. But either way, though, we're about to go to another one, man, from Couch Politics, man. I told y'all the first two going to be from him. We got to talk about this shit because for some reason, this kind of got left in the dust. And we ain't spoke on it in a while, man. This Israel Palestine situation. You know, they ain't been talked about in a while because we had the Epstein stuff come out, we had the Venezuela stuff come out. We got the ICE, all that shit going on. A whole lot of distractions from a lot of things have been going on. But we gonna jump back in time real quick. Like, even though we're not jumping back in time because they recently discussed this, we're gonna talk about the situation that went on over there. And I want y'all to hear how these motherfuckers are really trying to shape a narrative of what we all saw, what we know what it was. And if you look into the history of this situation, you'll know even better. But we're going to go into it, man. Let's see what they got. Right back out to Caps Politics, man. Back on the Abby Phillips CNN shit. Let's get it, man. Let's see what we got, man. Because this shit crazy.
I want to move on for just...
Hello, everybody.
Let's get
right into the segment. I just wouldn't want this done, even to my worst enemy. It's just hard for me to understand how people can justify what's going on in Gaza in their mind. Check out this segment.
Yeah, because y'all, they starving them. Just want to let y'all know they still starving them folks over there.
Let's get into it.
Just throwing it out there.
See this totally differently. The fact is, Gaza would not be in this situation, but not for Hamas and the actions they took, not just on October 7th, but what they have done systemically over nearly 20 years of being in power to use their own people as human shields. The suffering of the Palestinian people is the direct result of the leadership of Hamas and in Judea and Samaria of the Palestinian Authority. The fact is, no one is demanding that Russia provide the same level of aid to the Ukrainians. No one. Why is it that Israel is being subjected to a totally different standard when we talk about conducting a war? As President Bush said right after October 7th, the world stands with Israel. The moment they defend themselves, the world will turn. And that is exactly what we have seen. This is rooted not just in anti-Semitism and Jew hatred, this idea of the oppressor versus the oppressed. The oppressor of the Palestinian people is Hamas. And I will say this, and I think this is important for folks to understand. The world today in the Middle East, we are in a far better place today than we were prior to October 7th. And the reason is because Hamas and Hezbollah have been largely decimated. Assad's regime has fallen. Iran's air defenses are weakened. Their nuclear program is basically obliterated. And the fact is...
Did y'all just hear that shit that he just said, though? Like, I was trying to see if he was going to correct it a little bit. He said that the Palestinians are in the situation that they're in right now because of Hamas. And then turned around and said that Hamas has pretty much been decimated. Did y'all hear that last part about him saying that they were pretty much been decimated? Hold on, let me say it one more time.
Not just in anti-Semitism and Jew hatred, this idea of the oppressor versus the oppressed. The oppressor of the Palestinian people is Hamas. And I will say this, and I think this is important for folks to understand.
Hamas is oppressive.
The world today in the Middle East, we are in a far better place today than we were prior to October 7th. And the reason is because Hamas and Hezbollah have been largely decimated.
And largely... They oppressing them, but they've been largely decimated. How they oppressing them if they've been decimated? Those two things can't be true at the same time. Is Hamas using these people as human shields, or is Hamas decimated? Talking out both sides of his neck and people don't be catching that shit. Like, dude, what are you talking about? You blaming what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians on Hamas, but then you said Hamas is decimated. What are you talking about? But I'm letting it keep going, though. Look, this is one of the Republican shields, bro. You already know how it goes.
Assad's regime has fallen. Iran's air defenses are weakened. Their nuclear program is basically obliterated. And the fact is, that wouldn't have happened if Bibi Netanyahu did not conduct this war in the manner in which he did.
I'm trying to understand something I thought I heard you say. Are you suggesting that that the international community is giving Russia a pass for what in Ukraine versus
1,000%
holding? So you're wait a second.
1,000%.
So explain that one to me. I'm not even really understanding.
Everyone should be held to the same standard.
So the global,
and that is not been what has
my
happened.
understanding is that there is pretty much universal global condemnation of Russia's conduct
so why
in
is
this
Europe
war,
still purchasing Russian gas?
including the targeting of civilians in bombings in Ukraine.
And yet, what is Europe still doing? Purchasing Russian gas
hold on
to
a second.
fund their...
Europe is providing tens of billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine to beat back the Russian invasion. How
do you beat it back when you fund it on the one hand?
But I don't want to get distracted by the Russia of it all.
No, it's not a distraction.
Congressman, I don't want to get distracted by the Russia of it all, because
nobody
I'm just saying,
even by
your own analogy,
they are not holding Russia to the same standard they try to hold Israel.
They don't be respecting Abby for nothing.
And the fact is,
yes, they are.
Israel, no,
it's a ridiculous analogy. Russia is being condemned all the time for mistreating civilians
Israel, in concert with the United States, has actually been providing humanitarian assistance. Hamas
Clearly not
continues
enough because
to
people are
seize-
starving, as
Well, maybe
President Trump
Hamas
himself
should
has
release
acknowledged.
it. Maybe Hamas should release the
Congressman,
aid
hold on
and
a second.
assistance. Maybe they should not be
Congressman, just a
using their own
second.
people as
Do you,
shield.
just a second, Matt.
Look how disrespectful this shit is, man. This is a woman's show, bro. Like, this motherfucker just disrespecting the fuck out of her, man. I ain't gonna lie though. I'm pretty sure CNN want to allow her to go to that point. But I'm like, man, Abby, you snap on these motherfuckers. Like, hey, I'm speaking right now. This is my show. Hold up, calm down. What are you doing? You just want to disregard me saying something over here? Like I'm just the nigga in the corner? This is my show. You a guest. That's crazy, bro.
Just a second. Okay. Congressman, just so we can level set here. Do you believe that there's a humanitarian crisis in Gaza?
Yes, as a result of Hamas.
All right, so there's a humanitarian crisis
as a result of
Gaza.
Hamas.
Who controls?
As a result of Hamas. You know, the same people that have been decimated. Remember that. He said they were decimated too, right? He did say that, right? But it's their fault though. But they decimated though.
Whether aid comes in or out of Gaza.
Israel has been allowing aid.
Okay.
They have been working with the United States to bring aid
I'm just wondering,
into Gaza.
I'm just wondering, do they control it or not?
There is a operational
Answer the
security
question, bro.
around the border for a reason.
Yes or no?
For a reason.
Congressman,
would you
I'm not saying,
prefer,
I'm not,
would you
I'm not
prefer that
asking
Israel
whether,
do not
I am not
control the
asking
border?
whether it is justified or not. I am just asking,
Right.
do they control the flow of aid in or out of Gaza?
Right, and aid has been flowing in.
The answer is yes,
Why
correct?
Is it,
All right,
why is it
so the
that
answer is
Hamas-
yes.
Do you beat around the bush like that, bro? You already know you on some hoe ass shit, bro. That's the easy yes or no question, bro.
I
continues
want
to
to move
steal
on for
aid
just.
and prevent aid
I want to
from
move on
getting
for
to their
just a
own
second because what
Like, these people are so foolish. If you have nothing to hide, just answer it. Like, don't you think it looks so much more suspicious that you don't answer the question just straight up? It's obvious what you're doing and that you're trying to hide it.
I ain't watched this one, y'all.
To
So,
this
hey,
argument,
just so you know.
because of Hamas doing this or that in the past 20 years is the reason that we should now starve children and slaughter them. The other justification that I've heard is that these children are being brainwashed by Hamas propaganda that will grow up to hate Israel. So we need to starve them and wipe them out before they become a bigger threat. What are we saying here? I truly don't think these people understand that no matter what, you have no right to wipe out a population, a group of people off the face of the planet. I can't believe that has to be said. Like, they saw that photo of the starving, paper-thin child, and they run screaming, oh, he actually has a disease. This is a hoax. Like, holy crap, completely ignoring all the other kids. Like, where's the humanity gone? How much longer?
It wasn't never there.
Until people have realized what we've done.
It wasn't never there. That's where it went.
And he
It
mentioned
wasn't never
Russia.
there.
Like, you moron. I swear, these guys are like little boys in a suit, in their father's suit. Who are these guys? Where do the Republicans fighting these little guys? Like, he mentioned Russia, that we don't demand them to provide aid for the Ukrainians, but whatever the hell he said. Is this dude in his senses? We are not allies with Russia. We are not sending U.S. tax dollars to Russia. Our dollars isn't being spent to starve children.
That is the point. That is the
in
point.
Gaza. How do you not see that, you dumb asshole?
He know what it is.
One of the things that you also said was that you felt like this all was rooted in anti-Semitism. A few days ago, Turning Points USA, which is a very pro-MAGA group of young people, they had a focus group of young people, young MAGA folks, about this issue, and listen to what some of these people had to say.
That's the sound of an American oil.
Got a commercial. All right, let's get back to it.
See Jew hate increasing amongst your generation.
I think that there's a lot of collusion between criticism and hate. I think that there is legitimate hate out there, but a lot of criticism is being framed as hatred, or you don't support this because you're criticizing it. And that's like, I think that that's a little inseparable from what the left
Do you guys
does.
think it's anti-Semitic to say you don't like Bibi Netanyahu?
No, I don't believe so.
Charlie and the child trafficking factory. Shut the hell up. What the F is he talking about? Is it anti-German to hate Hitler? Like, what a dumbass question.
So essentially, I think what they're saying is that a lot of Democrats are saying, which is that should we not be able to criticize how things are done? the degree of things being done without being accused of being anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
That's the question that they're
This
asking.
is why I think young people are seeing with their own eyes. They're not seeing through the lens of old politics or the way we used to do geopolitics. They can see with their own eyes on their phones what's happening in Gaza. And it's atrocious because these people are not just starving, they are being starved. Like, I am from Canada originally. If we were not allowing food into Alaska, if we were stopping Alaska from getting food, I wouldn't say, well, I'm Canadian, so I have to stand up for Canada. I would be like, feed the people, let the people have food. I think the problem is when politics and religion mix, which is what they really shouldn't do. And in an ethno-state like Israel, politics and religion are intertwined. So when you criticize the government, you end up sounding like you are criticizing the religion. And that's where I think people get confused. So it's not anti-Semitic to say you don't like what Netanyahu's doing, and yet they are constantly put together. I was speaking to a really good friend of mine recently who is Jewish in Los Angeles. And he was saying that like, he's feeling so isolated himself in America right now from his own temple, because if he doesn't 100% stand up to support everything Israel's doing, he feels like he doesn't belong in his own temple. And he said, I'm having such a hard time right now because there's two things that I've always thought of myself as, an American and a Jew. And he's like, and right now I feel isolated from both communities, and it is the weirdest feeling. And I think a lot of people feel like that. They know what's happening, they can see what's happening, and they want it to stop.
We have to address.
All right, look. I co-sign what the hell she just said, because I've noticed that when this whole situation popped up between Israel and Palestine, like when you were critical of what the Israelis were doing, a lot of people, even YouTube was on that whole ass shit. They still on it too, because YouTube, I think, is owned by a Jewish person, anyways. But like if you criticize anything that the country, the state of Israel did, they try to make it seem like you had an issue with people of the Jewish faith. And first off, I don't even think y'all the real Jews anyway, so I'll say that ahead of time. But outside of that, it's like, no, bro, we're criticizing what the army and the government is doing to these other people, bro. Because the fucked up shit is, if you look into the history of what's going on around here, they've been fucking with them folks for a long time. They ain't even from there. They need to take their ass back to goddamn fucking Germany. They Ashkenazi and Jews running that shit. Y'all not from that land. Y'all need to take y'all ass on back. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. They always try to put two and two together as if you criticize what the government was doing to them people, that you were anti-Semitic. And it's like that couldn't be any further from the case. But they look, man, they good with these switching up words and trying to make you feel some type of way. Republicans are real good at that shit, because they've been the main ones chewing for it. But Democrats love them folks over there too. I wonder what they got on us.
I mean, I agree with you. Young people are seeing things with their own eyes. And what they're seeing is massive amounts of propaganda. Look what the New York Times had to admit to just in the last few days. I've heard repeat.
What did the New York Times? They admitted
running a photo that was a complete and total hoax.
They admitted that they ran a photo of a starving child who also had a disease.
You're gonna
Is that the admission?
It's a hoax.
You're gonna act like people
and
aren't
it was
starving?
sent around the world
Okay.
to make people
Scott,
think that Israel
what
had
about
starved that child. He had a
what
pre-existing
about
condition.
all the other children in that story? What about them? Are they a hoax?
Abby,
Don't-
there is a
I'm not-
there
Abby,
is a
don't- no,
Abby,
please, okay?
there
Don't-
is a
don't do
coordinated
that, Scott.
propaganda campaign
Don't do
right
that,
now
Scott.
to paint
Are all
a
of those
distorted
other-
picture of what's
Are
happening.
all of those other children a hoax?
Some of them are. There have been other stories
all
about
of those
children
other
that
children a
Israel's
hoax?
actually paying
There
to
have
have
been
taking care for their
there have been
pre-existing
25
conditions.
people
President
who
Trump
died of
admitted there's
starvation.
starvation
on
in
top
Gaza.
of
Scott,
that.
hang on a second. You just claimed that this whole thing
They
was
ran a
hoax.
correction. They ran a correction.
What you claimed was that all of these young people, not just young people, but everybody in the world, the photos that they're seeing, the stories that they're reading, the first-person accounts are a hoax? Are they a hoax?
I'm saying that the photo that the New York Times ran and then ran a correction on is a part of a propaganda campaign that is occurring right now.
I do not agree with you on the New York Times photo, but let's say that one was wrong. They ran a correction, fine. What about all of the other children?
Sure.
What about all of the other
So
hoaxes? When you say that this is a hoax, Scott, Scott, I'm putting a stop to the talking points. Okay, that's what I'm doing here.
Are you?
Because I'm talking about human beings.
When are we going to put a stop to propaganda?
Listen, we've said it before on the show. We are talking about real things here, not talking points. Leave the talking points at the door.
Can I give you another example?
Scott, just hold on for just 1 second, because here's what I want to play. Let me play the House Speaker.
He pouting now.
Mike Johnson.
Scott over there pouting, yo.
Scott is so disgusting. He got
It ain't
cornered.
pouting.
That's why he looked down. He was like, Abby. He got cornered. He's talking about propaganda. Like, he is such a scum. He's just lost all sense of morality. He talks about propaganda as he literally tries to lie and insinuate that no children are starving. That's why he looked down. Abby, he was cornered like an idiot. Because one photo had an image with a disease, with a kid with a disease, and who was starving. But he ignores all the other kids starving with no disease. I mean, I need to stop acting so surprised. Republicans, as we speak, are defending and protecting very likely child abusers. Why wouldn't they be okay with a genocide? It's like I said, don't leave your kids around Republicans, conservatives. They've lost all sense of morality, all sense of direction. The party of Christian values, the party of family values, you're the party
Family,
of
y'all.
sick fucks. The only Republicans that are truly against what Israel's doing are the anti-Semitic crazies, like the Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Tucker Carlsons of the psych ward, that think every single bad thing that happens is caused by Jews. You know, legit crazy people. These are the only
Space
people who are
lasers.
against what's happening over there in the Republican Party. It's sickening.
Was asked about this issue, and I want to give him actually a lot of credit here because he answered this question with humanity and honesty. Listen to this.
We've got a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. I mean, the pictures tell a thousand words, and it's heartbreaking. We want an end to the conflict there. We want peace, and we want to end that whole crisis. President Trump is using a strong hand to try to forge that, and we're moving in the right direction. The IDF under Israel, of course, has opened new channels for food aid to go into Gaza, and we've set up new mechanisms. The U.S. is going to work with our partners and allies around the world to make sure that happens.
I agree with everything he said. I want to just underscore real quick. I want to give him a lot of credit for that. I mean, maybe it's more than he just answered the question honestly. He didn't try to spin it. He didn't call it a hoax. It is a choice to call what is happening in Gaza a hoax. You might disagree with the decision to run a single photo, but your comments.
And it's an example of the kind of propaganda that's being used to call Republican.
Scott, you weren't talking about just the photo because you said there's a bunch of other ones. He said a lot of them other kids might have been a hoax too. And it wasn't even a hoax. Like, yeah, they showed a picture of a kid that was sick and starving, but that kid was also sick. Okay. You're gonna lose your like that. That's where they've gotten to, y'all, when it comes to justifying what the hell is happening over there in Israel and Palestine. Yeah, that kid looks sickly as hell. Can we have some sympathy for this kid? Well, that kid has a pre-existing condition. That's where they at now. Knowing good and well they starving the fuck out of them people over there. But they'll take that kid and try to say, well, that kid is already sick beforehand. That's what type of time this motherfucker right here is on. And that's why Abby got so fed up and is pushing back on him. Like, them people over there starving. Y'all starving kids. Y'all starving kids, bro. And you supporting this shit. You backing it. Do whatever y'all need to do, Netanyahu, Israel. Y'all do whatever y'all got to do to them Arabs. And honestly, I'm not really here to try to defend Arabs because, like when y'all had our back about some shit. But, like, wrong is wrong, bruh. And Scott's sitting over here really trying to defend it. That kid had a pre-existing condition. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's, like, you got to be next level on some other shit to, like, see a kid starving to death. And you can see it's intentionally happening. And you be like, yeah, I'm fine with it because, you know, that kid had a pre-existing condition. Like, bro, the fuck going on around here with you? But either way, though, I'm asking you to pull back from this ledge, okay? That is what I'm asking. And answer the question honestly. That photo, let's say that photo was maybe the wrong editorial decision, but is what is happening over there a hoax?
No, I agree with everything Johnson said. There is a humanitarian crisis, but the question was, why is public opinion changing? And I'm telling you that it's changing because people are being misinformed. There's another example. For days, we've been told that there's no evidence that Hamas is looting the trucks. Today, the United Nations' own data that they published said 90% of the trucks from May to July were looted by Hamas.
Okay, that data,
so again,
hold on, Scott,
propaganda.
Stop. That data says that those trucks that you're talking about, it's not 90%, but those trucks that you were talking about were either taken by hungry people or by armed looters.
And who are the armed looters?
And hold on a second, Scott. Do you know what proportion of those trucks were taken by armed looters versus hungry people? No, you don't.
There are armed Hamas looters.
Scott, so I'm just saying.
Y'all see how some people just keep dying on the hill? Like he said, 90% of the aid coming in was looted by Hamas. Then Abby jumped in and said, no. There were two different groups of people that were looting those things. And Scott, do you know the number? Because you had hungry people that were starving, and then you had armed people. You could call them Hamas if you want to. But it wasn't just 90% Hamas. 90% of the trucks that came in got looted by Hamas, got disproved, and still kept going on. He's still trying to argue a point. You just got proven wrong, and you're still trying to move the goalposts. That's crazy, bro. People catch on to this shit. Because a lot of these folks get on these platforms and they just say shit, and they don't get rebuked. That's why we have a lot of issues with a lot of people that interview certain folks. Like, you know, interview somebody that's in some controversial shit, ask them the questions. And then we had these people that get them cupcake interviews, and it's like, bruh, what'd you have them there for? Then you ain't need to have them there for if you ain't gonna ask no serious questions. Abby is pressing this motherfucker. Like, bruh, you lying. You lied right after you lied again. Like, come on, bruh.
Just one
We've said
second,
no
okay?
evidence. There's evidence.
I am just saying we have
Not no 90%
reporters
evidence
in Gaza who are talking to women and families who go to the entrance points for aid trucks, and they go there to try to get aid directly from the trucks because they are worried about going to the distribution sites because it is dangerous. So those hungry people are quote unquote looting from the trucks to survive.
But
So I
who's
just want
making
to
it
make
dangerous
that
at the
point.
Where's the
distribution
danger?
points? Look, I think
I
there's
don't
an
know.
important
I don't know,
reset that
Congressman.
needs
Who is making
needs
it dangerous at the
They with
distribution?
the IDF
Where's
shooting
the
them.
danger? They were shooting the IDF.
Yeah.
were shooting at
How about that?
kids getting food.
No, they covered that probably a couple months ago. It was last year, probably around I'll say September-ish, maybe the month before. But they were talking about how these dudes were literally making bets. These Israeli soldiers were making bets while these people are over here at aid stations getting food, getting rice, whatever grain, whatever they be eating over there. I don't know what they be eating, but I know they eat a lot of grain. But they was over there at the place to collect the food, and these dudes were behind their barrier on the Israeli side, and they was literally making bets to see who could snipe kids in the head. And they were actually sniping kids in the head. There was reports that came out about this. And it's like, why do you think them people might be scared to go to the distribution place? They might want to get it beforehand because they know some Israelis might be out here just getting some target practice in on their family members. Like they kind of keep trying to dismiss all the stories that came out of what's been going on over there and try to act like, dude, man, look, they whitewash the history of America, and they got a lot of people in America thinking that black people just terrible folks. I'm pretty sure they can whitewash the fuck out of this shit too, and they gonna keep doing it. Either way, let's keep going, man. This is some sick ass shit, bro.
Like, this has simply gone too far. October 7th was vile, but what is happening now is far, far worse. People will forget October 7th because of this. In fact, they would hate to hear that date being brought up. Think about it. If October 7th was a terrorist attack, what the hell do you call what is going on now?
Got another commercial, y'all. Ain't got that YouTube Premium no more. Either way, let's get back to it.
This is no longer just a response. Like, Scott is just such a dirtbag. He hears that, oh, well, one of the trucks was looted. And Abby was mentioning how all the other trucks, people were swarming them, starving people swarming them. He just ignores that. Hamas. These people, like, they're true cultists. This is why they always use these same words. They chant fraud, waste, and abuse. Fraud, waste, and abuse. Hamas. Like, and it works on Republicans. They're trying to do this with this whole Israel thing. But like I said, there's a huge base of the Republican Party that just despises Jewish people, that believe that they are controlling space lasers to start fires in California, that think that they're the great replacement theory. The Republican Party, they're just not all there. They've lost their mind.
Hamas, a terrorist organization.
But you also,
that's not correct. Yes, it is. Here is the fundamental
Hamas is
point.
not shooting the Palestinians who are trying to
get
get
really?
food.
Hamas doesn't shoot the Palestinian
I'm
people?
not saying they have never shot anyone. I'm saying they are not.
Now they're reformed.
You guys, this is so disingenuous the way you're acting.
Here's a very
Can we listen to
point.
Max?
Here's a very
Okay, Congressman, I'm gonna let you finish your point.
As the chair of
hold on
the
a
Middle East
second.
and North Africa
Lee,
subcommittee, I actually have a little bit of knowledge.
Congressman, let me let you finish your point, and then I want Max to make his point, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, look, to me, we can all agree that the situation in Gaza is terrible, and nobody wants innocent Palestinians getting killed or being starved in any way. There's a very simple way for this to end and for people to get the support and assistance they need.
To just feed them, right? To just let all the trucks come in and just feed them, right? Let's see.
Is for Hamas to agree to the terms of a ceasefire that they just rejected again and end this war. Release all of the hostages and allow the UN and other organizations to come in and provide the support that is needed. But one thing that is clear, when this conflict ends, Hamas cannot remain in power. And anybody that thinks Hamas can remain as the governing body in Gaza is absolutely out of their minds.
No one thinks that. No one wants that. No one believes that.
No one is defending Hamas. They are an awful, evil, terrorist organization that started this war with their unprovoked attack on Israel. That is 100% true. And I completely, as a strong supporter of Israel, I completely back Israel's right to defend itself.
And see, this is where you get the other side of the argument, y'all. It wasn't unprovoked. I'm just gonna say that ahead of time and just get it out the way. What them people did, them Palestinians did, the group that calls themselves Hamas, it was not unprovoked. at all. But he's on the side, he's going to defend the Palestinians, not Hamas. But I'm like, it wasn't unprovoked, bro. Y'all been fucking with them folks. Anybody that can go look into the history of recently what's been going on over there within the last 15, 20 years, y'all will see that it was not unprovoked. It was not unprovoked. Shit, I'm surprised they held out that long. I'll be looking at some black folks in America and wonder why we be on some hoe ass shit sometimes with the shit that be going on over here. But nah, it wasn't unprovoked. But I'm gonna let him go because he's gonna try to defend the Palestinian side.
But Israel's own generals concluded about a year ago that the war had reached the point of diminishing return. And right now, you can't expect Hamas, which is a death cult, to simply surrender. And you cannot make the innocent... Can I finish my sentence, Congressman?
They've used the hostages.
Can I finish my sentence, Congressman? You've had your say. Let me say something, okay? You could not expect Hamas to surrender because they are an evil organization. And you're right, they are holding the people of Gaza hostage. But Israel, as a liberal democratic country, has an obligation to abide by the laws of war and to avoid inflicting undue harm on civilians. Israel is recognizing that to some extent because in the last week they've actually opened up and allowed more aid in. But clearly, given the fact that we can all agree there are starvation conditions in Gaza, the aid has been inadequate. And this is causing not only extreme suffering in Gaza, but as I mentioned earlier, this is doing long-term damage to Israel's international standing and support. And as a supporter of Israel, this greatly pains and anguishes me to see.
One quick thing for you, Jamal. You know, sometimes there are...
Personally, I don't give a fuck about what Jamal got to say, man, because Jamal ain't talking about nothing, bro. Like, the situation over there is effed up, bro. It's effed up. And for all the people that believe that it was the Palestinians that started it, Hamas that started it, y'all need to go look into some recent history. Man, look, the motherfuckers just need to get the fuck up and go back to goddamn fucking Germany, bro. The Ashkenazi and Jews just need to take their ass back to Europe, bro. Go back to where the fuck y'all came from. Like, y'all in these people land. I'll just be honest with you. I ain't even here trying to like bite no bullets on that shit. Like, I ain't got nothing against y'all. Cause personally, y'all ain't did shit to me, at least not that I know of. Indirectly, y'all did a lot of shit. But I'm like, look, bro, man, just going back to y'all country, bro. There ain't nothing but some white folks over there cosplaying as some people of God. Like, we them folks. We them folks, y'all. Not them. But either way though, they keep on sitting over there playing that game. What's going on over there is kind of messed up. It ain't right, and it needs to be some correcting that needs to happen over there. But you know, either way though. But we gonna cover this last one, man. Shout out to it's that boy Will, but he got another channel called Rich Boy Design, Rich by Design. Okay, whatever the fuck. That shit's funny. It's the name. But Piers Morgan had Brandon Tatum, because I told y'all we're covering a lot of the things that happened recently. Piers Morgan had Brandon Tatum on there with a couple other folks, and it pertained to the ICE situation that's been going on. You know, Minneapolis, where people got murked. Two American citizens, 2 white people got murked. Amazing, ain't it? And they were discussing it, man, and it kind of got a little funny. But we're gonna check this one out, bro. This is gonna be the last one. Then we're gonna get the hell up out of here, man. Let's see what we got real quick, like, man. Let's get it.
MAGA Brandon Tatum melts down live as Brian Tyler Cohen snaps on Piers Morgan show. Hey man, let's get into this, dog. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for the algorithm and all of that.
Make
good
sure y'all
stuff.
hit that over
You're cosplaying as a tough guy while you bootleg for 6 grown-ass men who jumped on a nurse and shot him dead. This is not the tough position.
In this video, we are watching the exact moment when basic decency finally collapses under the weight of non-stop MAGA nonsense. Because after nearly 45 minutes of being misled, talked over, and told to ignore clear video proof of a shooting, Brian Tyler Cohen and Tim Miller finally hit their limit. And when that moment arrives, it is deeply satisfying to witness. Since this is not a planned trap or a dramatic setup, but the natural result of bad faith arguments being pushed too far for too long, until denial turns ridiculous excuses stop making sense, patience runs out, and you need to see it unfold in real time.
Tim Miller, it seems to me it's been a very significant 48 hours, actually, for Donald Trump, for his administration, for the wider public, and for this issue of trust and being able to believe what we see with our own eyes. Because if you listen to what these administration officials were saying in the immediate aftermath of this killing, then this guy, Alex Preddy, was about to launch a massacre of law enforcement officers, when we could all see from the various clips that were coming out that simply wasn't true. He was defending a woman protester who'd been thrown on the floor. He was then thrown on the floor himself. Yes, he had a weapon on him, but at no stage did he brandish that weapon or represent any threat to the 8 ICE officers that engulfed him. And in fact, they took away his gun and then they killed him. So given that we could all see that, I think what's happened here, which has been really pretty unprecedented and quite fascinating to watch, is that Donald Trump has realized this has crossed a line many people may not have thought Donald Trump was aware of or cared about. And that line being, if you try and tell people that what they've just seen with their own eyes is not true, they're not going to buy it. Trust in you is going to erode, and your polling numbers are going to get slayed.
That won't be the first time Brandon covers something that we all saw with our own eyes and try to justify the shit, man. That's what he does. Dude's a weirdo.
And ultimately, it will cost you at the ballot box. What's your reading of it?
Well, I hope you're right, Piers. I hope that Donald Trump changes course. I think we've seen some very minor evidence of that, replacing Greg Vivino with Tom Homan. For me, I would have preferred that all of the ICE and CBP agents be removed from Minneapolis immediately and then taken off the streets and brought back to D.C. or to the border where they're supposed to be. Minneapolis is famously 300 miles from a border. And, then they could reassess what a program would look like where they actually went after the worst of the worst rather than menacing American citizens and menacing people who are here legally. And I do agree with you that the American people overwhelmingly do not want and do not support a government that murders its own citizens in the street, that unloads a clip and shoots them 10 times, fires 6 bullets into their...
I got to correct you on that one, man. I think a large majority of the people that follow the likes of Officer Tatum love to see that kind of stuff. And they make jokes about it. And they make excuses at every turn to justify why things happen, like the George Floyd. If you ask anyone who watches him, they say that he deserved it because he was a drug addict. So you're not going to find a whole lot of empathy from his following. So, man, that's the only, correction I want to make. There's a large group of people who wouldn't give a damn.
Dead body on the ground and then lies about them and smears them after they're dead. I think that the vast majority of Americans don't want that. You'll probably be able to find a couple of shills to come on and defend that on this show, but I think the vast majority of Americans say, no, we do not want murderous mass thugs anonymously killing our fellow Americans. And so I do think...
Well, it's because of mindless people like the gentleman that just finished speaking is the reason why people have this perception that Donald Trump is somehow doing something wrong. They deported 600,000 people. They've deported people who have committed murder, rape, all kinds of...
That's not true, bro. Under Obama, I recently found out that I think 70% of those people who were deported under him had violent histories and things of that nature. But it's like a small, minuscule number of those people, percentage-wise, under the Trump administration who are being deported, who are actually felons.
Dangerous.
It's literally less than 3%. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there for you. Like, out of all the people he done deported, less than 3% are like violent criminals, got felonies and things of that sort. Majority of the people they deported, they never committed no damn crime. They picked their ass up at work when they was at the farm or at the construction site, goddamn Home Depot waiting on a job. Like that's the majority of the people they've been getting, bro. They ain't been going after no violent criminals for real, man. The number is so small, it don't even make no damn sense.
Felonious crimes. Also,
and if y'all don't believe me, please go look it up. Please go look it up. Please go look it up, man. Please go look it up. Fuck. Because people don't want to look up shit no more. You got a smartphone in your hand. Click off the show and go look it up real quick.
They're deported in all 50 states. Why is Minnesota the only state that's having issues? And then to get on TV and say that a guy is observing the First Amendment and Second Amendment while he's at a protest, assaulting ICE agents, Border Patrol agents. He committed an assault, a felonious assault against the ICE agent. That's how he got into a physical altercation while carrying a firearm. With that,
what was the assault?
And y'all, look, I want y'all to see this. This is like the blatant lie. Like, and I don't even understand why Austin Tatum be on that whole ass shit. We call him Pussy Tatum sometimes. That's what we call him behind closed doors. I call him Pussy Tatum on the show tonight. Pussy Tatum over here, literally blatant lying. Like, we all saw the video what happened to that Alex guy out there in Minnesota, Minneapolis, whatever the hell it was. Dude, that dude did not assault no ICE officer or none of that shit at all. He was trying to help a lady that they shoved to the fucking ground in the snow on the street. And they jumped on his ass, took his gun, then lit his ass up. Lit him up, bruh. Unloaded the clip on him while he was face down on the ground. So I'm like, bruh, like, Tatum sitting here doing it, like, bruh. It's amazing how times change, bruh. Like, this boy cooning for them folks to kill the white folks now, too. Like, it was okay for them to kill the niggas. Now he cooning for them to kill the white folks. It's amazing how times unchanged, bruh. It's really super hard party lines. If it's party line, it's party line. It don't even matter about the race no more. Well, the race matter, but the party lines, Trump that shit. It seemed like
when the border patrol pushed the lady, he went hands on. That is a felony. You cannot do that.
He didn't assault anyone. But Brandon, here's
is that not a felony crime?
When you say what you witnessed was an assault,
to physically assault.
Brandon, hang on, let me finish. When you say,
but you got to understand something too, Brandon. The people you're trying to protect, they wrote these laws in order to give themselves maximum authoritarian ability. In other words, any little small inconvenience at the hands of a citizen, they could really just unleash deadly force upon you without any consequences or repercussions. That's what that is. So you're basically giving so much credit to the people who made the laws to favor them, to give them advantage, right? So in other words, if a police officer is touched by my index finger like this, that's an assault. In other words, they can go and argue in court. Well, since he put his index finger on me, I felt threatened. So people like you can get on the internet and say that's a felonious crime you just did. Man, shut the hell up.
It's called mindless. What you witnessed was when you say what you witnessed was an assault by Alex Pretty on ICE officers, that is not what I witnessed.
Pierce, because you don't live in America, you've never done law enforcement, you don't understand the law. And with all
I've got a home in America. I've lived in America on and off for 20 years.
But I'm saying you are not vested in American law enforcement. When you grab somebody like Pretty did with an ICE agent, that is an assault, subject to an arrest. They had every right to take him down to the ground.
What ICE is doing in Minneapolis is far beyond that remit. They are going after people that have asylum claims that have not been adjudicated. They're going after protesters. They're going after American citizens. They've jailed American citizens. They're going into neighborhoods. They're bullying people. They're pushing people, and they're murdering people. So if your issue is let's deal with Hennepin County Prison.
And look how Brandon is back there just laughing. Like everything old buddy just said about what ICE has been doing, it's 100% the truth. He didn't even go into detail about it. He could have really went into detail about what ICE has actually been doing in a lot of these cities. I seen ICE on the street, on the next street to my house the other day. I got a lot of Hispanic folks that say in my neighborhood. They was out here the other day. I had to tell my neighbor, like, and look, man, I don't know if you legal or not, but bro, take your ass inside, bro. Like, get your kids and go inside, bro. Because they round the corner, bro. They already jumping out on folks. Like, don't even take your ass down there. Bro, the shit that they've been doing to some of these folks, bro, they yanking up black folks out this hole. Like, it's crazy, bro. They ain't yanked up one white person I've seen yet. They ain't yanked them up because they thought they was illegal. Man, the white folks and got in the way, and then they, shit done happened. That's kind of like the situation on the guy they dealing with right now, but he wasn't in the wrong for what he did, and he shouldn't have died for that. But Brandon is over here laughing at this shit, bro. This is happening to your fellow Americans. You claim you all about the Constitution, you care about America, you're a conservative, you're for the people and shit, and you hear about American citizens getting all this shit done to you, and what you do, you lean back and just laugh. Funny as fuck, right? Okay, let's keep going.
And figure out how to work better with them, then you don't need to murder American citizens to achieve that goal. And so we can agree on that. I wish you could agree. American citizens should be shot dead.
Let me bring in Brandon.
More issues.
Let me bring in Brandon because I want to bring in just an update from Polymarket about Kristi Noem. It's quite interesting. We're following the prediction markets on this subject of who will be the first to leave Trump's cabinet. Almost uniquely, he's a year in and hasn't fired anyone from his cabinet yet. Polymarket has a $1.5 million market open, a lot of activity. As we speak, Kristi Noem is at 39% to be that first member of Trump's cabinet to be fired. She was just at 13% before the two deaths in Minneapolis. Brandon, do you think she's on the way out? Is she going to be the first casualty of Trump's cabinet?
I don't know. I think Trump is very loyal to the people that are in his cabinet right now. That's why he hasn't fired anybody so far. But I do think that she's becoming incredibly unpopular on the Republican side. Now, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with it. I don't pay attention to what she's saying. I don't care unless people are getting arrested and they're doing their job. But I do believe if she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing, if she's doing things illegitimately and it's not working on behalf of the country, get her sorry self out of there. And I believe that with anybody that's in the cabinet. I don't owe no loyalty to none of y'all. If you don't do your job, you need to get fired. And so if there's a fair evaluation of Kristi Noem and what she's doing and not doing, and if she's not doing what's right for the American people and she's committing fraudulent behavior, fire her. I think we all understand it. Can I give you the Border Patrol response real quick? Law enforcement and Border Patrol connection, because I worked in law enforcement in Tucson, which is a border state, and we work well with Border Patrol and ICE. Y'all. And there's a big difference when you arrest somebody and they are illegally in this country. Now, local law enforcement do not have jurisdiction to arrest them for their federal crimes, but we do take them to the jail and we put them on what we call an ICE hold. Therefore, they cannot leave the jail facility even when they're done serving for their city crime or their state crime. The ICE agents will come and
No. This dude used to be an officer, and I'm gonna tell you how he already lied right from the get-go. Like, cops can stop you from fucking anything, especially if you're in a motor vehicle. Now, a lot of people don't know their rights anyways when they're walking and shit, but they can stop you pretty much anything when you're driving. But let's say they pulled up on somebody, they got a call about whatever stuff, and they start running you. They run up on you, they intimidate you, you give them your name and all this shit, and they start trying to run you. If they pulls up that you illegal, or they ain't got you in the database at all, they can put you on the ICE hold then. They can arrest you for that and hold you for ICE to come get them. So I don't know why the fuck he trying to say that local police can't do anything, period, if you illegal. Yes, they can. Yes, they can, especially if y'all are in high compliance with the federal law that, well, at least that agreement that the state and the federal government have between each other, between different states, when it comes to like, okay, we'll hold these people for a certain amount of time so y'all can come and get them, so the federal government can come pick them up and get them up out of here. Because some states do that, and some states are like, they ain't finna spend that money if y'all ain't gonna goddamn, they're not finna keep somebody housed in their jails and the federal government gonna pick them up. They just gonna be like, y'all just gonna get the fuck up out of here, bro. The federal government ain't coming to get you, get the fuck out. So, I don't know what the fuck he talking about, but I'm gonna let him keep going because he gonna keep trying to tell us what the law is.
Verify them and take them. That keeps the community way safer because ICE does not have to go into the community. When you force ICE...
All right, so we just supposed to take his word for it because he used to work there. Cool, give us some concrete numbers, percentage-wise. How many of these people are you arresting and then having to hold in that facility until ICE comes and does their bidding? How many of those people, so out of every 100... I don't know, illegals or whoever you want to call them, how many of those people did you have to come and arrest? And how many of those people actually committed real crimes that you say they all have committed? Because y'all can arrest someone, and this is the stuff they ain't gonna tell you. One of those illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants, could have been driving under the influence, which legitimate citizens do. Of those people, other than the fact that they're here legally and that they got pulled over for drinking or whatever the case is, smoking, whatever, how many of those people had committed crimes in their home country when you find out that ICE came and got them? Like, what are the numbers to that? Because everything else is just word salad. And I used to work such and such, so that's how I know. Nah, give us some concrete numbers, man, statistics and percentages.
To go into the community, and then you have idiots harassing them, doxing them, throwing stuff at them, blockading their vehicles. You create an unduly risk. This is why ICE's patrol or even Border Patrol in their assistance with ICE around the entire country, and you don't see people getting shot, and no, hardly anywhere else. You would say 99.9% of the shootings are in Minnesota. What?
Yeah, dude. Okay. You do see people getting harassed in other places, actually, not just Minnesota. Minnesota's just the only place they've murdered anyone so far. But they've harassed people. They jailed citizens in California. They shot people in Chicago.
Give me the murder numbers. Give me the people who have been murdered by ICE, and then you tell me where they were murdered
this year. There have been 2 people murdered by ICE in Minneapolis so far. And then
one city.
Renee Good and Alex Renee. And then they shot a guy in Chicago. A gal in
Border
Chicago.
Patrol agent. No, Renee hit an ICE agent with her car. She got shot.
No, she didn't.
This guy came and confronted and physically assaulted and had physical contact.
I'm sorry. I can't do any more of this apology of
you don't have to do anything.
You can do whatever you want, man, but do not smear dead people.
If this guy goes to jail for shooting Pretty,
it's shameful. What you're doing is shameful. You should be ashamed. You
I actually think it's.
Yo, when he's not making the point that he thinks he's making, he goes to name calling, and that's like the telltale sign that you're losing the battle, or subconsciously you think you're losing because now you got to go to name calling. You're a wussy. Nah, beat him intellectually, man. You ain't got to call a man a name.
Hey, look, I'm gonna call him a name. Brandon Tatum a hoe. He a certified hoe, bro. Like, for real, the dude was like, he literally tried to say, well, only 2 American citizens have died in one city, so what's the big deal? That's literally what he was just trying to do. And then he got in his feelings about it too. Like, that was crazy. So you cool with 2 of your American citizens dying by the federal government when they didn't do anything wrong? Okay. Hey, look, that's fine. If that's how he feel, that's how he feel. Got all of his feelings. Chest got all pumped up and shit. Look, sit your fat ass down, boy. Let's keep going.
You should repent.
You don't understand the law.
I think what Brandon is doing. I think what Brandon is doing is actually pretty instructive, because the reality is that everybody saw the video. Like 85% of Americans saw this video. It doesn't matter. You don't understand the law. Brandon,
it doesn't matter that you saw the video. You don't understand the law. Is this nigga a lawyer or something? Or was he a former cop? And I wonder if he got fired as a cop.
It's not according to what they're going to be judged by.
Police officers don't even understand the law. They really don't. So I don't know what make him think he's a damn attorney, a lawyer. Y'all don't even understand the law, man. These people go and take a training for like, what, 12 weeks, for 16 weeks, and they think they know the law. when the actual lawyer got to go to school for 3 years, pass the bar, and do all kind of extended educational things in order to stay on top of their game, right? And you mean to tell me you know the law? Come on now, let's be real, bro. I done seen lawyers break down the dumb shit he says. This shit is crazy.
Control yourself. Brendan, try to control yourself.
No, how about you listen?
Try to control yourself. Try. Just try like 2 seconds to not talk.
Give me the law. Give me the law that he's going to be prosecuted.
Brendan, 2 seconds, man.
Give me the law he's going to be prosecuted.
This isn't a good testament for how law enforcement officials are able to control themselves. 2 seconds.
It's not a good testament.
The reality is the vast majority of Americans,
like you don't know the law.
Brendan, just shut up for like 2 seconds.
Where's the law?
The vast majority.
He don't know the law. Shit. You ain't no damn lawyer, bro. You didn't pass the bar, sir.
Americans saw this video. We know what we saw with our own eyes. Even conservatives, even independents know that what ICE was doing was completely unjustified. That he was holding his cell phone and.
I want y'all to pay attention to this because it is very annoying. Like Brandon Tatum is gonna keep talking the entire time. Michael Cohen is, I think it's Brian Tyler Cohen. I don't know what his fucking name is, but I haven't seen him on a few things. While he's talking, trying to get his point across, and I give him props for staying on point and just trying to get his talking point across. Brandon Tatum was trying to cut him off the whole time, bro. Listen to it. I just wanted to stop it because I remember watching this part.
Know the law.
Brendan, just shut up for like 2 seconds.
Where's the law?
The vast majority.
He don't know the law. Shit. You ain't no damn lawyer, bro. You didn't pass the bar, sir.
Americans saw this video. We know what we saw with our own eyes. Even conservatives, even independents know that what ICE was doing was completely unjustified. That he was holding his cell phone and was bombarded by 6 grown-ass men who shot him dead. And the fact that you're standing up here, Brandon, just shut the fuck up for 2 seconds. The fact that you can sit up here and claim.
You talking tough ain't gonna work with me, buddy.
You was just talking tough to this white dude. You called him a wuss. That's tough talk. You call a grown man a wolf. You challenging his manhood.
And he called Brian a wuss earlier too. He called him a wuss after he called Obadi a wuss too.
In other words, you trying to be tough. Oh man, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
What are you gonna do? Shoot him 10 times? Shoot him in the back of the head?
This whole time, you're cosplaying as a tough guy while you bootleg for 6 grown-ass men who jumped on a nurse and shot him dead. This is not the tough position. You are defending.
Say you a bootlicker. Man, it gotta hit different when a white man call you a bootlicker. It gotta hit different. Oh, because them the people you love so much and they think you're a bootlicker. You know what? I take that back though, bro. I ain't gonna lie, dog. White people hate like white people like them. And black people who are conservatives hate white people like him.
It's not a tough position, my dude. Being a bootlegger for a bunch of grown-ass men who killed a nurse who was helping a woman is not a tough position that you think it is.
Gentlemen,
where is he gonna be?
Can I just say, gentlemen, I had hip surgery a week.
I ain't gonna lie. Pierce Morgan about to say some stupid ass shit, man. That was pretty much the end of the damn video, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. It's crazy that you got this black dude sitting up here justifying the federal government killing American citizens on the soil. Like, I don't understand about all these sellouts, these coons, these Uncle Toms, the Uncle Ruckus. I don't understand these guys. Like, I really don't understand them that come from my community, and they're a detriment, bro. They're a real detriment to the community when you sit over here and advocate for the oppressors of the people that you look like. Like, brother, you know they don't like you, right? I hope you know that. It ain't supposed to be all this black, white, whatever the fuck, but shit, like, at the end of the day, you a black man, you need to understand what the fuck they view it as. The country has always shown us what the fuck they like, what they think and how they feel about us, my people. So I'm like, dude, ain't no point of going out here like you literally trying to join their team on this shit, nigga. Like, bro, they shooting people in the street, bro. Like, and then lying on them when there's video evidence to show that they didn't even, like, whatever they said they did, they didn't do. Like, come on, bro, you gotta be in a real fucked up place, man. Money must mean a lot to you. Money and attention must mean a lot to you to fucking sell your soul to that type of shit, bro. That's some devilish ass shit, man. I'm just being honest with y'all. But look, man, we came to the end, man. When it came to that shit, man, look, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, bro. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. That's kind of fucked up, man. We lost 2 Americans to the federal government, aka ICE, because Trump want to try to get tough on the illegals and just do fucked up shit to American citizens and shit. And now we got 2 Americans that are dead because of that shit. And ain't no telling how many been locked up, got fined, still in jail right now. We done deported American citizens. We done deported babies and shit. Like, we done did a whole lot of fucked up shit. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm still gonna stay out of it. I can say it's wrong, but I'm gonna stay out of it because a lot of y'all, we gonna vote for Donald Trump. Yeah, that's what y'all get, motherfucker, stupid ass. But outside of that, I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight, man. Like, for real, we trying to get this shit going around here, and I'm trying to catch up on some of these videos I ain't been able to get to, y'all. It's been some shit, man. I've been out of town and shit. Ain't gonna lie, I'm leaving again tomorrow. But either way, though, outside of that, it was fun tonight, y'all. It was fun. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on. I'm about to actually drop a link, y'all, in the videos at the end or something. Because new channel starting up. Make sure y'all go and sub to it. JVJ Speaks. Make sure y'all go check that out. But I'm going to drop the link in here so y'all can get it next time. But yeah, we about to get the fuck up out of here, bro, because I got shit to do. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one, man. Like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on, all in the bag of chip. And we catch y'all motherfuckers in the next one. As always, man,